Can I ask some of you to also come in the front and occupy the first row? Good evening, everyone, and a warm welcome to all of you. Thank you for joining us today for this special session organized by Moneylife Foundation. Before we begin, may I invite our speaker for the evening, Mr. Yazdi Tantra, to please join me on stage. I'll also ask our founder trustee, Mr. Vasu, to please join him on stage. Can I ask our founder trustee, Ms. Sucheta Dalal, to please welcome Mr. Tantra with a bouquet of flowers. We are delighted to see such a diverse audience here, senior citizens, professionals, students, NGO members, all brought together by a shared curiosity about a subject that is increasingly shaping our daily lives. The topic of today's session is one that many of us can relate to. Artificial intelligence, or AI, is no longer something that we only read in the newspapers or hear about in our tech discussions. It is already influencing how we write, communicate, find information, organize our work, and make decisions. Yet for many people, AI still feels confusing, intimidating, or even risky. So questions like, where do I begin? Which tools I can trust? Will I make a mistake? Is this really something for me? Are very common and completely understandable. This session has been designed precisely to address those concerns. It's not about theory or technical jargon. It is about practical real-world use, showing how AI tools, when used correctly and responsibly, can save time, reduce effort, and improve everyday productivity. To formally introduce our speaker, may I now request Mr. Vasu to please do the honors.
Good afternoon, everybody. We are very fortunate to have with us this evening somebody who has spent decades helping people understand and use technology with confidence. Mr. Tantra is a chartered accountant by training, a computer consultant by profession, and an entrepreneur developer by passion. He has been running the medium-sized computer firm online for over 3 decades, giving him extensive hands-on experience with technology as it has rapidly evolved over the last few decades. Over time, this has enabled him to carve a strong niche as an educator and a trainer, known especially for making technology accessible and understandable to ordinary users. He writes regularly on technology, apps, and productivity tools for Moneylife as well, and frequently speaks about how digital tools can help senior citizens and non-tech users adapt comfortably in a rapidly changing digital environment. In addition to his work on technology education, Mr. Tantra is also the chairman of the board of directors of Zoroastrian Cooperative Bank Limited. This evening, he will take us through a practical, demo-based session on how AI can be used sensibly and effectively as a productivity tool in everyday life. On that note, I invite Mr. Tantra to take us through today's session. Please join me in giving him a very warm round of applause, please.
Thank you.
Good evening. I We had done this session about 2.5 years ago in September 23. I don't know how many of you were here. Not here, it was on Zoom that we did this session. And 2 years is a long time for technology. So things have changed, but lots of things are the same. So let us look at AI from a very, very basic practical point of view. That's why I'm saying it is part 2, and it is part of your brain and not really so I see a variety of people, right from those who are not touched AI at all, who want to know the definition, to the type of people who have already used it very often. And therefore, be a little patient with me. We'll not have all the new buzzwords to scare you. At the same time, we'll learn to drive the car, not know how it actually works. So this is very practical. What sort of examples we will go through will be very practical and manageable in the day-to-day life. What we can expect from this session is an overview of different ways AI can be used. And what you do not expect from this session is, it is not very technical. You will not learn, or I will not try to scare you with so many things. It is purely from the layman's point of view. The other thing is that AI is a very, very huge area. Like there are courses for 6 months, 1 year to learn AI, or to learn even a part of AI. So to compress all of it in 2 hours is a very, very challenging task. We'll try to do our best. The ground rules are, you can ask any relevant questions anytime you want. You can just raise your hand if you don't understand something, or if you want me to repeat something, please raise your hand. The other thing is, I don't know everything, so please be patient. If you ask something and I don't know the answer, please excuse me. I can always try and find out. Okay, so with these basic things, we start with a definition. The definition is very simple. Artificial intelligence is the ability of machines to perform tasks that are typically associated with human intelligence, but you are getting a machine to do it, such as learning and problem solving. A very, very elementary definition. It is not the technical definition. It is very elementary for a layman to understand. So as I said, we are just exploring the very, very top layer of AI. This is designed for beginners with no prior AI experience. We are looking at some 2-3 basic tools which are very popular, and there is a whole lot of tools available across the board. So we are looking at ChatGPT, Gemini, and Copilot. As of now, Copilot is my favorite, but you can use any of these and get the same results. There is a whole lot of other AI tools like Perplexity, Grok, Claude, DeepSeek, and then there are specialized items like Gamma for presentations, Base 44 for programming, and hundreds of other tools. But what we are looking at is just the basics. So you don't have to get scared about AI. It is just another tool. It is fundamentally a tool like a calculator. We started with a calculator in the 70s. We had a handheld computer, which I was very fascinated with once upon a time, Casio, if you remember, the small handheld calculator. And it used to do a lot of programming stuff also. And we also looked at a computer. In the 80s, we started with a computer, and we were fascinated with all that we could do with the computer, which we could not otherwise have done. And now we have what we call as AI. It's an artificial intelligence which is designed to make our lives easier, but not to replace human thinking. This is what is most important. We should remember that AI will never replace human thinking. Human thinking is most important and very, very, very basic to our working. So never feel that it is going to replace us, and we don't need to be intimidated by AI. AI is only a tool. Sometimes I feel that my wife thinks that I am AI. So she just tells me, okay, take this image, make it small, make 4 copies, and see that it fits onto a page. That is all that you are going to tell AI. So you are not going to do any programming language, you are not going to write any big code. What you are going to do is say some things and the computer will understand. And that is what the basic thing is, that computers now understand us. Unlike earlier, when you used to learn programming languages and get things done, now computers understand it. So we can talk to them just in plain English, and they will understand what we are trying to say and perform the actions that we are telling them to do. So what exactly does the AI understand, and where does it get the information from? The basic thing is that there is a huge amount of information online. After the advent of internet, huge amount of information, and the data that is available online is doubling every 3 years. What AI is doing, we are talking plain English, we are asking it to fetch information or do stuff, do research, do things, and from the vast data available online, internet, you know, it is now, I don't have to say it, but the internet has a huge amount of data, and you can see the amount of global data that is available. So I didn't even know this term, zettabytes. The amount of data that is there online is equivalent to 250 million DVDs. That is the amount of information available. And it is humanly not possible for anyone to analyze or to go through that much information to get what we want. So AI is the interface between us and access to the data. That is the online users, 6 billion people use the internet, and AI and Gen AI, more than 1 billion people actually use LLMs as large language models, which is what we talk in plain English, and generative AI platforms. We'll talk about generative AI also presently. So my first question is, how many of us use AI? Everyone. So every one of us is using AI in some way or the other. Yes, who's not using? You're not using. Okay, great. I'm happy at least somebody is not using. Okay, you are also not using. So let me put it the other way. How many of us are not using? At least let me see some hands go up. Okay. So the basic thing is that we already use AI in many ways. Like if you are using Word, Excel, Zoom, cell phones, we are all using AI, knowingly or unknowingly, right? So what does Word or a keyboard on your, even on your phone, what does it do? It does autocomplete. That is AI. It expects you, it knows what you are going to type, and therefore it gives you the completion of the particular word. There is something called predictive text. Like if you are typing a sentence, Google will give you 2-3 words after that to complete that sentence. All this is evolution of AI. So we are already using it. What about grammar? Grammar check has been in Word for ages. That is also AI, because it understands. English grammar is a very complicated thing. English spellings are very complicated. What spelling to use where, and you can change the sentence totally. In Excel, you can even do projections. So what are you doing? Basically, it is understanding that this is the pattern that you are having, and therefore, this will be the pattern that you should expect if the same pattern continues. That is the basic assumption. In Excel, you have autofill. In Zoom, you have AI summaries. Have you used summaries in Zoom? So what happens is, in Zoom nowadays, if you are on a Zoom call and AI is enabled, what it allows you to do is, it allows you to actually get a summary of the entire session. So at the end of the session, you don't have to write the minutes of the meeting. You can straight away get the entire summary. Automatically, it will be generated and it can be circulated. AI can make mistakes, remember, but it helps you, say more than 50-60% of the job it will do, and therefore it becomes much easier. If you join a Zoom call late, say after 10 minutes, after 15 minutes, after half an hour, you can say, catch me up. That is the only command you have to say. It will tell you what has happened before you join. It will give you a brief summary of what has happened before you join. At the end of it, of course, it will give you a summary of what all happened. It will also give you action points. So if there are action points within the particular meeting, it will say so and so has to do this by so and so date. Only what is spoken. It will not decide on its own. Only what is spoken, it will understand what all you are speaking, and then it will give you a summary. You can ask, was my name mentioned earlier? And it will tell you, yes, your name was mentioned by this people. So it's a very powerful thing which you are already using. Unfortunately or fortunately, we are not actually using it within Zoom, but Zoom has this fantastic AI tool. So you can get summaries, and that is all without doing anything. You are not even giving a command. At the end of the day, if you are recording the session, you'll get a summary. Who has to do what, action points, summary of the meeting, who said what. Obviously, if you are having a Zoom call, then it will identify people by the names that are projected on the screen. So if it's a big room like this, which is also participating, and if 5 people are talking, obviously Zoom will not know who's talking. But when you are having a session where everyone is individually identified online, you can straight away get summaries, action points, and what to do next. AI in Gmail. Everybody is using AI in Gmail? Yes? How are you using it? How are you using it? Writing? Yes? Great. Automated replies. Searching for a particular email. Yes. How do you search? In the search box. That's it. Email summaries are being done by Gmail instantly without your asking it. So if you go to any Gmail account and there is, sometimes it is a long thread, like it is 17 people, 20 people, one person replying to the other, somebody is saying this, somebody is saying that. And then I don't have time. First of all, I am very lazy. So I try to find some way in extracting, but what does it say? Tell me now. There are 20 emails. Somebody will go on. I'll just quickly show you if I can put this up.
Out of that, that lot of emails that I have messaged to Sushita ma'am also, it could be like hundreds of emails which are multiplying. तो उसमें अगर अपने को declutter करना है, if you have to declutter those emails, how do we go about this? Is there a direct way to do it?
Declutter in what sense? You want to say, find me all the emails on such and such topic.
Duplicates have to delete it because
you can get
enterprise ChatGPT does it. But in email, Gmail can do it directly where you have the emails coming in and you can just remove those emails which are excess because
it doesn't remove. It doesn't remove. But if you say
sort it for them,
yeah, you can sort it. Yeah, you can say on this topic, what is the correspondence I have had with
that?
X
I get it.
or
That
with
is
Y.
right. But if I want to delete those emails, like there might be almost 80% of the data which is duplicate.
So then you go to overview and see the overview. That will give you the entire summary.
No, but can we segregate? How can we segregate it before deleting it? Because I don't want.
Yeah. Okay. Quickly. Yeah.
Go to the earlier slide when you are.
Sorry.
Can you go to earlier slide where you have listed all the tools available?
All the tools?
Chat, GPT and Gemini.
No, that we are coming to. We have not even come to that. We have not come to that. Yeah. So I will go a little faster because we are already half an hour and we have not started. So Gmail, yeah, or you can keep the questions to the end. Unless you have not understood a particular thing, then you can ask me there and then. You can polish replies, you can connect with Keep and Task. Keep is the note-taking application of Gmail, of Google, and Task is the application which actually helps you keep track of whatever you have to do. So this is a very, very simple thing that you are already using and you are not paying for it also. AI in other apps also you have already done. Have you used AI on WhatsApp? If you open WhatsApp, on the top they will say ask Meta. That is the first thing. That is your AI prompt. You can ask anything. Find a restaurant close to me, find where I can buy certain stuff, etc., etc. Twitter has something called Grok, which is a very funny name, but you know, this man is really funny. So you can just, in Twitter, if you say @Grok and then type a query, it will give you the answers. So Twitter has Grok, WhatsApp has this Meta AI. WhatsApp and Facebook are similar or almost the same. AI on news sites. Have you seen AI happening on news sites? Okay, I found a mention of NDTV. Okay, so let me just run to NDTV. I'm not a fan of NDTV anymore, but anyways. So when you see any story, there is something, when you go down, if it's a short story you will not get anything, but if it's a long story, one second. Now this is something which gives you a summary of the entire story. You don't need to read the entire story. Especially these foreign stories, I don't like to go through the details, but I want to know what's happening. Can you see that? So any story which is more than 2 minutes, you have this option called quick read. Just click on it. Again, you are not typing anything, you are not asking anything. You're just saying quick read and it is giving you the summary of the entire story. And if you are a little more, you can say switch to beep mode. There is something called switch to beep mode, in which case you will get summaries of all the stories. So you can see this story, the next story, all these summaries are hardly 30 seconds read. So I don't have to go through the entire website to identify what all is happening. I see this quick read. And this is also very, very powerful. I can just go back and forth. And then of course, if you want to click on a particular story, you can search for it online and then read the entire story in detail. But this is a very useful thing that you can use. So summaries are auto-generated. You can say, I want to see quickly what is happening, and you can switch to beeps mode, in which case you can see all the stories in summary form. So these are the places where you are actually using AI without doing anything. It is all there for you. You go to this website and it is there. Now the three most famous AI tools are ChatGPT, who was the pioneer. So I'll just explain to you how do we go there. We just go there at chatgpt.com. That's it. And then you are there. And then we'll see how we can work on these. So ChatGPT is one. Copilot is another one. Copilot is from Microsoft. So if you have a Microsoft account, then you say copilot.microsoft.com. You will have to log in once so that it knows who you are. The beauty of all these AI tools is that it will know who you are. It will know what questions you have asked earlier. So when you are going further, then it will know that you had done this before, and therefore it will be more context sensitive. And it is not available to the public. Or you can go to the Edge browser. Edge browser also has a Copilot link on the top right. Just as you saw the Gemini link in Chrome browser, you will see in Edge browser. And there is a dedicated button in Windows. So nowadays, the new computers which you get, you can just click on that button and Copilot pops up. So that is, ultimately it is there on your computer itself. You are not even going online. It is there on your computer itself, but for fetching data, of course, it has to go online. So these are the 4 ways in which you can invoke Copilot. Gemini, as we saw, you can go to a website called gemini.google.com, or you can go to Google itself, or you can go to the Chrome browser, one of the 3 options, and you can come to, this is how you go to the landing page in 3 ways: ChatGPT, Copilot, and Chrome. Now in Chrome, they have gone one step further. If you go to a new page in Chrome, you always have that famous Google search bar. We used to call it Google Baba. Okay, so this is the famous search bar of Google. Here there is something called AI mode directly. So if you want to use AI, you just click on this and your AI mode is there. It knows who I am. So whether it is Google or whether it is ChatGPT or whether it is Microsoft Copilot, whenever I go to the home page, because I have logged in once, it knows who I am. So it is personalized also. It gives my name. Hey Yazdi, what's on your mind? Right? Somebody was asking whether you can you can ask anything here. You can type out, or you have a small microphone here where you can say. You can say your query, or you can type your query. So if you are having difficulty in typing, you can just click on this microphone. This is what Gemini does. If you go to Copilot, it is similar. Same. You just come to a query box, and then there is a microphone out there. On your mobile phone, apart from a microphone, there are spectacles. So you can actually see. You can point to something and say, tell me about this. To that extent, you can ask questions. And ChatGPT, of course, is the famous one, the oldest one. So this is a whole big topic. When you are talking of, see, it is like you are in Bombay and you are having a heart problem. Which doctor is better? Sorry? You will try to research. You will see what works for you, what doesn't work for you. So you will have 100 queries over a period of time. We'll come to that also. I will explain that also. But just now you just understand that there are 3 ways in which you can access your AI. Copilot, ChatGPT, and Gemini. These are the 3 ways in which you can access. So as I said, I'll just run through this once more. ChatGPT is chatgpt.com. Copilot, you can go to copilot.microsoft.com. That is what we did just now. Bing is the browser. So bing.com. There also you have a link. Edge browser and dedicated button in Windows. So you just press one button and this question box comes up. What do you want to do? Now we come to what we call as prompt engineering. It is nice to give some fancy words. Actually, it is nothing. If you ask the right questions, you get the right responses, which is true of anything. You go to your lawyer, you go to your doctor, you go to your professional. If you ask the right questions, you will get the right answers. If you tell him as much detail about your condition, you will get a detailed answer. If you just say, which is the best fruit for me, it is not knowing anything about you. But if you ask something more detailed, what is your background, what is your health condition, then you will get the right answers. So whenever you are asking a question, try to make it as detailed and as personalized as you want, so that you will get a more focused answer. If you try to do something very generic, you will get generic answers. If you try to make it specific, ask the right questions, you will get the right answers. That is what this whole game is all about. There are courses on prompt engineering which are for 2 years, 3 years. How to do prompt engineering. We are, as laymen, we don't have to worry about it at all. You just have to ask in a natural language, and you can strike a conversation. As we saw in Gemini, you can strike a conversation. You can ask something, you are not happy, you can say, no, I don't want this, tell me about this. It can keep on refining the query till the time you get the right answer. The right answer can be text, or it can be visual also. So yes, I will show you something where it can not only understand a particular language, it can understand a combination of languages. So in our normal colloquial thing, what we say, मेरा बच्चा 10th में है, he wants to learn something about quantum computing. Which is the best source? I can ask that sort of a query also. So partly English, partly Hindi. In my conversation also, I can use Hindi words, I can use English words, and it will understand. So it is intelligent enough. So prompt engineering is something where we are going to ask the right questions, give as much detail as possible, and get the right responses. If you don't ask the right questions, you will not get the right responses. You will get a very much overview sort of a thing. But if you go deep into it, then you will get the details of the same. So these are the major uses of AI. Research, what I am saying is something more than search. You all remember the good old days of search. You ask Google something and it will give you 10,000 websites and you go and figure out. That was what the idea was, because that was what the technology was at that time. Here what you are doing is you are saying you look up so many things and then come to me with the answers. So research is going beyond search. It is going into a depth. It can analyze stuff for you. So research is only picking up information from various sources and presenting it to you in a formatted way or in a proper way. Search is little more than search, because after the search, understanding what each person is saying. As we saw, the amount of information online is humongous. So when you want to understand what is the right answer to your question, what you will do is you will just ask ChatGPT or Copilot, research this for me and give me the analysis. So it is more than just search. Analysis is something further more. We will see these examples where fact check also is part of it. Fact check is very simple, incidentally. Generate. It can generate new stuff. When we are talking of writing a letter, there is nothing online. Somebody has never written a letter which you want to write. So you are generating something. So that is called generative AI. And then you can have interactions also, you can have quizzes also, and you can have a whole lot of stuff more. Now, let us go to the first step, research, which we are talking of more than search. Now, I have a few prompts which are pre-defined, and therefore I will just copy paste so that we save some time. So what my query is, what is the total market for financing of two-wheelers and four-wheelers in Mumbai, Pune and Surat? I am just giving this prompt. Now if you asked in search what it would do, it would just give you all the sites which have this information and you go figure. Here I am saying give it to me in a tabular form. So you tabulate it properly and give it to me. I am not going to do all the donkey work. Okay, so let us see what we come out with. So I am saying, what is the total market for financing of two-wheelers and four-wheelers in Mumbai, Pune and Surat in tablet form? Now it is giving me a summary, the total market, and then it is giving me an entire table. The two-wheeler financing market in Bombay, four-wheeler financing market, and some notes also. Now this is very, very powerful, because what it is doing, it is going to multiple sites, picking up information, tabulating it in a form in which I can understand and make use of. And then it is also giving me some key insights. India's two-wheeler market reached so much, NBFCs dominate, vehicle finances, assets under management, no city specific published data. It is also saying that this is an estimate, there is no city specific published data available. There is a lot of market volatility, shift to pre-owned vehicles, and he is also giving you recommendation for deeper accuracy, and he is giving you the websites from where he has picked up this information, care ratings, ICRA, etc., etc. And if I say show all, it will show me all the references. So from where each point of data has been picked up. Can you see the difference between search and a research? This is much, much better, and it gives you everything instantly. Or this is a very basic question. I am saying, give me a summary of the latest UN report on SDGs. SDGs is that so I don't want to do this entire donkey work to go to the website of the UN, find out what is the. So it gives me a quick summary. Sustainable Development Goals Report 2025. Overall progress. What are the key challenges? Goal by goal snapshot. Progress versus challenges. Takeaway. And then it is not just like your spouse who will just give your answer and keep quiet. He is also saying, would you like me to break down India's specific performance of the SDGs? If you say yes, then it will go further. So it is not just giving some data, it is also giving you a prompt. Instead of our giving a prompt to the AI is giving me a prompt. You also want me to do this, you want me to help you with this. Very, very brief, concise, and with giving the links to where your data is coming from. I find playing with it very interesting. He owes 1,577 crores and 4,318 crores. If the government is giving me, I can build much better complexes with so much money. He owes, meaning they have not taken from him because he is a poor man. So the government has not taken money from him, but this is what it is. He owes so much. And you know BKC, how well it is running. Fantastic. Everybody is praising what a great job this man has done. But he has still not paid the government for the use of land and whatever the compulsions may be. And then they are giving you breakdown of reported dues, to whom he'll... something is taken from Moneylife. CAG report, ZBiz, Marksman Daily, etc., and all sorts of caveats are there. Yeah, obviously it is on published data. Basically, he will not know, no? Okay. So these are the sources. This information you will not find in search. What I am trying to distinguish is this you cannot find in search. Suppose you are in the market to buy a laptop and you want to compare what are the laptops available and what are the prices and what are the... So I am giving a prompt. See how we can do a prompt. Recommend a laptop with i7, 16 GB RAM, 1.5 kg weight. Okay, I am making it very specific what I am looking for. I am looking for a lightweight laptop with and now the beauty of this is, if you go here, it knows that you are from India, so all the prices are in Indian rupees. It knows from where you are logging in. And then all the laptops, what is the processor, what is the RAM, what is the rate, what are the key features, and what is the approximate price. So it is going to various websites, picking up this information and presenting it. Or you could say, which are the best hybrid cars in 2025, something like that. Or you can even specifically say, like the next prompt I am seeing, find the cheapest OTG oven for home use on Amazon.in. So I am specifically saying, go here, find out what are the options and tell me which is the best one, based on the reviews, based on the price, based on the quality, based on the features. So it is giving you, this is the best one, and these are the key features, things to consider: capacity, accessories, durability. If you want the lowest, if you want the larger capacity, would you like to compare this with slightly higher price models? All this he is offering. What do you want to do now? After seeing this, what are you going to do? So you get the idea. One more I would like to, one or two more, which again, this information is not so easily available, and these are all complex pieces of information. Latest energy consumption figures in India with state-wise and industry-wise details in tabular form. Very difficult to get this information quickly. You have to go to multiple websites, try to collate, and so I'll read it again for those who cannot read. Latest energy consumption figures. So these are the state-wise energy consumption figures with some notes. Share of national total. Industry-wise, we said state-wise and industry-wise. So it has given you state-wise also, it has given you industry-wise also. And key insights, coal remains dominant, etc., etc. Whatever you, is giving you a little more than what you asked for. And what are caveats and what is the bottom line? India consumed so much. Now for people who are journalists or people who are doing research, so I will just read out the next two because we are running short of time. Let's say for doctors, for example, suppose he wants to know what is the latest in surgery on cerebral palsy. It will go through the internet and give you all the information. Or the lawyers can go and ask for information on the law. Whatever is published data will be presented to you. You can say what is the latest case law on compulsion to share Aadhaar for your bank account, for example. So it will give you the latest case law. Whether the government follows the case law or not, that's a different thing. But this is what the latest is. Okay? So are we clear on this? This is very useful, very powerful. The next is you quickly run through, sorry, the slide is, this is, first one was research. This is analyze. So what it is doing here is, and I'm not using anything differently, I'm just asking questions in plain English. Please understand one thing. So here in analyze, what it does is it quickly runs through large amount of data and gives an analysis or summary. So if you have got a huge report running into 200 pages and you don't have time to read the report, you will say just give me a one-page summary of the entire report. That is what ChatGPT or Copilot can do. So you can have a PDF. What you can do, I'll just show you here quickly. Since I have many slides and we are running a little slow. What you can do is, there is something, if you notice in all these, there is a plus sign down below. So you say plus, and then you can add images or files you can start deep research, you can create a podcast, or you can start a quiz. Okay, so you upload the file. When you say plus or add images or files, you will upload a file and say analyze this or give me the conclusions. Or if it is a book, suppose you are having an e-book. I had an e-book which is 150 pages. I said, boss, what is this fellow trying to say? I don't have time to go through 150 pages. What is this guy trying to say? So quickly he will make a summary which will be in one page only. So it's an analysis. It is not just giving you the facts. See, earlier from research, it was just bringing the facts together and presenting to you. Now what it is doing is, it is reading it, understanding it, and giving you a summary. Okay, so let us say, let me see if I can do one book. So there is a book which I downloaded, 100 Ways to Motivate Yourself. Sorry. Okay, so if you see here, it is 151 pages. 151? Something in that region. And now I want to motivate myself, but I don't have time. So what I will do is I will upload this. So I have the PDF file with me. I will upload this on Copilot. I'll just close this. I'll say add images or files. I'll pick up 100 ways to motivate yourself and change your life. And say, give me a summary. Okay, this is uploaded automatically. I'll say, give me a summary. So it will read the entire book, and in less than 30 seconds, it will give me a summary of the entire book. Yeah, you can even ask for a specific, how does it help, etc., etc. What is the core idea of the book? What are the key things? What are the examples of strategies, and what is the takeaway? And then he is also offering, would you like me to distill this into a one-page actionable checklist, like a quick reference that you can use daily instead of a narrative summary? So you can do that also. So there is analysis, there is understanding, and there is further help. I don't know if you guys read about that Pakistani newspaper. I think they used some prompt and got an answer, and down below this was also there. So he copy pasted that also. Would you like me to expand further? And that was also printed. So that was a. So you have to be careful if you are going to paste it somewhere. Be careful not to paste the last part where he is offering to do more for you. Is this clear? Now it can be 150, it can be 1,000 pages. It takes about 30 to 40 seconds, so 1 minute at most, depending on the complexity, of course. But much less than what you would otherwise do to get to this stage. So I have one file, which is a Word file, which has some 20-30 people participated in an essay competition, and I was asked to evaluate it. So you know I am lazy, so I uploaded everything, and then what I did was I gave a prompt. Now see, this is where your prompt has to be much better. What I am saying is evaluate the essays in this document on 3 parameters: language 10 points, understanding of the topic 30 points, and depth of analysis 10 points. Tabulate the results when done with the points and rating of each, and give me the reasoning for your answer. So this I am going much beyond. I am saying do the analysis, rate it on these 3 parameters, give points, show them to me in a tabular form, and then you justify why you gave points of this to this person. What I am trying to say is the prompts can be more and more intensive and more specific. So now it has given me an evaluation table. It has done language, understanding and depth, total points so much, and it has given me the rankings also. And then it has given me the reasoning. So and so, language, why he has given 8 out of 10, why in understanding he has given 24 out of 30, and why he has given depth 7 out of 10. So all the reasoning also is given to me. Now I may agree, I may not agree. I can modify this. The idea is a whole lot of, see now there are so many essays, and then the last question is, would you like me to also prepare a judge style feedback sheet for each writer? Short personalized notes, so I can go back to the people and say, this is what I found in your essay. Extremely powerful, extremely powerful. Because here it is totally like everybody is writing in his own style, in his own language, in his own and here you get a total analysis on the spot. Now if I have to read 30 essays, you know how long it will take. And for me to remember who said what, and then I go back to the first one and say, no, this was better, this was worse. Everything is available on the spot. So you can analyze large reports, you can analyze large spreadsheets also. Sometimes the spreadsheets, Excel sheets can be huge. So you can just say, what does this data say? And it will give you the results instantly, virtually instantly. Like you are seeing here, you can read text in an image. You can do a whole lot of things. You can also create summaries of websites. So if I say, give me a summary of moneylife.in. Okay, I am just giving the website. I am saying just give me a summary of this website. What do they do? I have never heard of them. So quick overview. Independent financial news, core focuses, content types, Moneylife Foundation, key attributes, founded by, headquarters, nature, known for, audience, risks and challenges, what they highlight, scams and frauds, regulatory gaps, financial illiteracy, bottom line, summary. Very, very powerful. Are you getting this? Because I go to a website, it is 200, 500 pages. I don't have the time to go to each of them and analyze and understand what they do, why they do, whether they are scam, they are not scam, whatever. This gives you an instant report on what they are about. So you'll have to go and read and see whether it is accurate or not. Are you getting the feel? Basically, this is what analysis does. Quickly run through large amounts of data and give an analysis or summary. This is what it does. Fake videos and news. Okay, there are lots of fake videos. So what you can do is you can download the video and just ask one of these guys to say whether it is true or not. And it will give you a fantastic analysis. You know all these fake videos. So it could be a virus, yeah. So you should have a good antivirus in place. So one of the best things I found was, did Nehru get his laundry done in Paris? That is one of the fake videos, fake news that is going on all over. And it gave me a very good analysis. If you want, I can just share. So you can just say fact check this and then give your statement. Or you can upload a particular video or a text, or you read it somewhere on X. You can just say fact check this and that's it. The rest they will do. It will give you an analysis, and I found it very interesting because when I did this, since we are short of time, I'm not showing you everything. It said that only once he forgot his laundry in Paris and it was couriered to him, and therefore this rumor started building. So it is not a regular thing. So fact check is very simple. You just say fact check this. I routinely do it for all the WhatsApp forwards that come to me, whether it is a image or whether it is text. Recently I read about this massive global apparel giants like Zara, Marks and Spencer and H&M are taking exit from Bangladesh and shifting to India. Bangladesh leaning towards economic shutdown. Is this a fact or not? So I found that it is partly true. Normally whenever you have these fake fact analysis, what happens is they intersperse some facts with some fiction and they make it sound very dramatic. And that's what normally happens. And this fellow did a very nice analysis and told me that yes, partly it is true, but it is not 100% true. You can do hazard things. That I have another video for 1 hour only on fact check. So you can do hazard things. This is what we are saying AI can do. So you can download the videos and just send it to. Then we have generative AI. Now what it can do is it can generate text, which many of you would have done sometime or the other. Write an email to so and so, say to the union saying that we can't accede to your request of increments this time or bonus this time. It will write a nice video. The more information you give, we are having so many staff, we are having this just now, last year we gave 25% increase, this year we can't give because of our current conditions, etc., etc. You gave a prompt, a lengthy prompt, and it will do it for you. You can write taglines, you can write a poem. People are writing entire ebooks on AI. You can say, I want to make an ebook with so and so characters, this character is positive, this character is negative, it will write the entire ebook, give it to you in maybe 30 seconds, 1 hour. 1 minute, sorry, not 1 hour. 1 hour is too much. So it can generate text. I did something like an appeal for organ donation for the Rotary, and it started giving me the entire appeal letter straight away. So what you want to do with it is your choice. What is the limitation? Only your imagination. Your imagination is the only limitation. You can do anything. You can generate anything. I can say I want to get a refund for my ticket. So these are my ticket numbers, this is the date, etc., etc. It will generate a nice polite letter, give it to you as a letter to the service provider. You can write letters, you can write essays, you can write poetry, you can write anything, you can write a book. So the entire thing can be generative, it can write text. Then I mentioned about audio to text. So Zoom is mostly a oral medium. So from Zoom you can get a summary of what all happened in a particular meeting. Otter.ai is one of the leading guys who does the same thing. You can add it as a person on Zoom, as a participant on Zoom, and it will listen to everything and give you the summary just like Zoom does. Fireflies.ai, grain.com, all these are items which can convert your audio into text. So you don't have to sit and listen to the whole thing again and again. The text summary is available to you. Audiopen.ai is something very interesting. You can say, I want to write a travel blog. You can just say, this is what you are going to say. You are not even going to type it. I want to write a travel blog. I will go to this country and I want to see the people, the food, the costumes, the customs, etc., etc. And it will write a nice piece for you as a blog. whatever you want to do with it, that is your choice. Create podcasts. Now this is from text to audio. So if I have text, earlier I was doing audio to text, right? Now what I am doing is I am saying text to audio. So I can put text there and say create a podcast. So it will create a nice conversation between a man and a woman discussing what is written in that, but it will discuss it as if it is a podcast. So this is also very useful, very powerful. It takes a little more time because then it has to generate information from various sources. It can give you little more than what is mentioned in the text also. So I write this bi-monthly column in Bombay Chartered Accountants Society magazine on apps, just like what I do for Moneylife. What they did is they took all my text articles for the last 1 year, they converted it into a podcast, and each one is a gem. You must listen to each of these. You just say create podcast and this is the text. That's all. You're not doing anything further. And a podcast is much easier to display, to understand for people who are on the go. Create visual content. Now this is also very interesting. You can create visual illustrations. You can make AI draw stuff for you. It takes a few seconds. Festive up on the mountains. Yeah. So you don't have to be an artist. Yeah, I will say add a guitar. I can converse. I can say make the pup white, make the hat orange, whatever I want to say. So it says adding a musical touch to the mountain pup. So you'll add a guitar. You can do whatever. Draw an Indian lady in a palace and you'll draw the Indian ladies with a South Indian sari. Something like that you can say. And it will do it immediately. It also depends on the speed of your internet. Yeah, so the guitar is there. You can do whatever variations. You want to create a brochure. You create a brochure for so and so event. Date, time, place is there. This photograph you should use. Assemble it. It will do it instantly. And I can even say styles. What if M.F. Hussain drew this? How would it look? So I can play around with it. Again, as I said, what if M.F. Hussain drew this? Oh gosh, he is getting into a discussion, interpretation, symbolism, emotional tone, etc., etc. Sorry? Yes, I can just say yes. You're offering to. So it is a whole lot of stuff. Now this is just the fun stuff. As I said, you can create a brochure, you can create an animation, you can create whatever. Sorry? Now I'll also take something which is also interesting. Okay, this is M.F. Hussain style. I can do something like this. Design an office building with 20,000 square feet for a courier service company. So you save money on your architect. Sketch the layout. So these are things which are so simple to do and instant virtually. So when we are looking at text, we are looking at images, we can look at music also. We'll come to that. So he's making a courier hub, and with all the properties that are required, the sorting place and the storage place, etc., etc. I said for a courier company. So it will create a nice layout. You save a lakh of rupees or multiple lakhs on an architect. Yeah. Again, here, as I said, creative illustrations, you can create fashion, you can create design and architecture, event brochures, whatever you want to do, you can take up. Then generating images and videos also is possible with AI. You can remove the background, there is something called creative.studio, expression.camera, imagine.art, where you can have different versions of yourself, or you can create like what you mentioned just now. This Grok is redoing or reinventing so many things. It could be something negative also. See, all tools, you will have the positive sides, you will have the negative sides. You have to evaluate yourself whether you want to use it, whether you want to contribute to the negative side or not. That's up to you. In all things in life, one chooses one's balance. Whether you use your computer or not, even that is an issue. Whether you use an EV or not, that also is an issue. There are other issues on EV also. I can do one lecture on that also. I have studied that. But there are lots of issues. Okay, so these are some of the things where you can generate images and videos. You can generate music. This is a website where you can straight away generate music. You can say, I want it in this form, this tenor, this classical, and it will create music for you. It's a very powerful website. Beethoven. It's called Beethoven. You can create entire presentations. You can give a prompt. You can say, this is the text which is to be presented. And then tell AI, create a presentation out of this. And it will give you a very nice PowerPoint presentation. You don't have to sit and struggle with the images, with the text, etc. Everything will be taken care of. It's instant, virtually instant. So AI PPT and gamma.app. Unfortunately, we are running short of time, but I have done a lot of presentations on Gamma. It's very good. It's a very wonderful tool. These are all specialists. This you can't do with Copilot and ChatGPT. You can generate entire websites also. So you can use framer.com or squarespace.com and create entire websites. So you don't have to put your hand on the keyboard. You have to just say, this is what I want, this is the data, now assemble it, put up a website in a very logical form. Sorry? Some are free, sometimes they say only so much of data you can upload. So then you have to pay for it. Obviously they also have to survive. It's not Moneylife that gives everything free. This is another variation of the same thing. Whenever you are using the prompts, you can create agents. What an agent is something where you tell the AI, give him a role. So for example, you say you are an expert travel agent. I want to go from Bombay to Delhi, stay in a 4-star hotel which has got 4-star ratings across the board, and I want you to arrange for my transport. Give me the options. It will entirely create an itinerary for you. So there what you are saying is you are creating an agent. You are a specialist. Or suppose you are an expert programmer. I want to create a program which will calculate the IRR. Something like what you were saying. You might not have said that you are an expert. You might have just asked a layman. You say you are an expert programmer. You are a professional interior designer. show me a layout for a 100 square feet room with a sofa and with a cupboard, etc., etc. Create it. What you are doing here is you are creating specialists, and that specialist will be working for you. So that is the difference between just typing a simple prompt and a specialist. It can be an interior designer, it can be a financial planner. You could say that I'm 60 years old and I expect to live till 80, and if my rate of return is 12% and inflation is 6%, what should I invest today at the rate of 12% so that I should survive my up to 80 years? So it will start calculating, it will give you the entire result. It can be a very complex query also. The point I'm making is you can create these experts for various. I wanted to mention Perplexity. Perplexity has a finance section. So you can say finance.perplexity.com. Perplexity is another AI tool, just like your Copilot or Gemini. But if you go to finance.perplexity.com, it does a great job, even in the Indian context. So you can ask something about a company, you can ask about the future prospects, what are the results, who are the people, how many shares they have sold, etc. It's just a conversation. Ultimately, what happens is if you go to places like money control or something, then you have to go searching for something. Here you can just ask straight questions. Whatever is published online. Again, that is a fundamental thing. You can't get information which is not available online. You cannot imagine. Okay? Sorry? I'm coming to that. Law. So there are websites called Lex Machina. This is an US based website where they analyze the cases and they even tell you, case goes to this type of a judge in this state, this will be the result. It will forecast based on the number of cases that they have handled in the past. It's a very, very powerful tool. People use it and it's an old tool. This is from the 23 collection that I had. India AI is something a little India based. It is giving you some, but not to the extent of Lex Machina. Supace is just for the Supreme Court. They collect information to get or to refine their decisions, and that is what Supace is about. Suas is Anuvad software. It is translating all the decisions of various courts into local languages, so it is accessible to all. So these are some of the tools which are available on the legal side. Which AI to use? So I just asked ChatGPT, which AI should I use? Give me a table. And it gave me this entire table. Don't take a photo, you can just ask. Anytime you can ask. So what are the specializations of each AI? I don't know if I can expand it for better. No, I can't expand it. Yes, please. So here everything is there. Best for, use case, strengths, pro tips, etc., etc. Everything is listed. So you go and ask one of these guys only. Ask Copilot. Tabulate all the AIs and give me the answer. This I picked up something from Twitter, but you can ask ChatGPT itself. It will give you the answers. Okay, this is one thing I wanted to introduce before we go to the shortfalls, etc. This is called AI Fiesta. Now, everybody has heard of Dhruv Rathi. He is the guy who has created this with a small team, 8-10 people. So this answers a whole lot of other things also. So let us go to AI Fiesta. It is called aifiesta.com. You can say ask me anything and you can ask whatever. The beauty of this is you ask a question and it will give you answers in all these people. ChatGPT, Gemini, Perplexity, blah blah blah. You select your answer. Okay, so if you ask the same question, what was the question you were asking? Something like, which is the best AI tool for legal in India? Normally, when you are going from India, it will understand that you are asking for India only. Okay, so there is something called multi-chat and there is something called Super Fiesta. So I'll just explain to you the difference between the two. Now it is showing you Gemini is saying this, GPT is saying this, Grok is saying this. He's got some 5-7 things. Codestral, Kimi, it has got DeepSeek also, I think. Grok is there. Perplexity, Sonar Pro, Gemini. It doesn't have, I must warn you, it doesn't have a co-pilot. But it has got 5. Then you can even switch off. I feel that Gemini I don't like, or I don't like DeepSeek. So I can just switch on or off. Disable this and the remaining I can see. This gives me more work because then I have to read each one and then decide which one is most appropriate. So then what I do is I go to Super Fiesta. What Super Fiesta does is it identifies based on my query which is the best tool to use, and then it will give me results only of that. Sorry? Yeah. So now if I say which is the best, everybody has this. This one, no, now I am asking in, sorry, I did not make the change. Yeah. So in Super Fiesta, it is only looking at one particular tool, Sonar. It is the best to answer this according to AI Fiesta. But then I may not like what he says. So it says, how do you like this response? I prefer this or try another model. So which is the next best? This makes life much easier for me rather than go to 10 different places and then try to figure out. This becomes much easier. Try another AI model, or there is another option when you get the results in so many. Then you can also, there is one button there where you can see, okay, give me a judgment out of all these, which is the best. So it reads all this and gives you the answer. So this is really very powerful. This is of course a paid solution, but I feel that this has helped me a lot because we have been. Then you have avatars. We said we'll create a, so here you have all these avatars. Converse with legends of history. You ask a question to Mahatma Gandhi, and what Mahatma Gandhi will feel about the answer, you will get that particular oriented solution. Or what Abdul Kalam or Albert Einstein, Rabindranath Tagore, Vivekanand, Subhash Chandra Bose. So you can virtually converse with them based on their amount of writing online available. So it will respond in that particular way. You can, this is a whole lot of things. You can create your own financial advisor, you can create your own doctor, give the history. Next time you go, then it will know what your history is and accordingly give you advice. There are a whole lot of things. Legal assistant, etc., etc. And this is the place, I forgot to mention that you can say English and Hindi combined and it will understand, it will correct the prompt and give the right prompt. So if you say my son is wanting to do this और उसका 9th standard में fail हो गया है, what is to be done? It will give you the right answer. It will correct the prompt, create the prompt and give you the answer. Very useful. AI for prompts. Then there are AI is used for many simulations on space travel, economics, stock market, accident testing, pilot, etc., etc. So these are all specialized tools which are being used for AI. AI on your phone. Gosh, do we have to wake it at 6? 5 minutes. So visual problem solving. I had brought this, but unfortunately we don't have time. So what you can do is you can start with Copilot on your phone, show something, as now if I have got 3 wires and I have to plug it into a plug, which wire goes where? Tell me. It will actually see it, analyze it, and give you the response. So visual problem solving is there. Maybe you can, for example, one very funny application use case I saw, that you have a set of Lego pieces. What can I make with this set of Lego pieces? It will analyze and it will tell you can make this particular thing. Object identification. Again, what is this tool? Suppose you find something, you don't know what it is all about. You can just point out and say, what is this tool? Fashion advice. The whole lot of things, whatever you can do on this thing, you can do it, but because you have a camera handy, this camera also will work, but this camera is a little more handy and more versatile. But everything that I said up to now, whatever you could do on the computer, you can do on the phone also. You can download Gemini, you can download Copilot, you can download whatever, and everything you can do on your phone. And as I said, always we can always speak out rather than type out. So this broadly I want to talk about this hallucinations, accuracy issues, and human touch and judgment, and of course the environment impact, which that lady mentioned. So these are all things which you have to take into consideration. Your analysis, for example, where is that gentleman? I think he left. When he said, I gave a problem, it gave me a wrong reply. That means you knew the answer. The human touch is always there. You can never get rid of the human touch. Hallucinations, it is picking up information from multiple sources. Those sources, today, anyone can write a blog. I can write a blog. I can say heart surgery is to be done like this. It will read that. But then, depending on the mass of knowledge that is available, it will sort it out. Sometimes it may not be able to do it. And therefore, you have to apply your mind whenever you are saying something or whenever you are asking something and you are getting the result. It should never be that you take it as gospel truth. There can be mistakes. There are human related problems. Ethically it may not be right, but practically it is right. All these things are only a human being can sort it out. It's not something which you can expect AI to do that sort of evaluation, that mental evaluation that this is right or wrong, ethical, and what would I say, the feeling part of it. Suppose I say write a letter to an employee for this default. There is a human touch in it also. So I cannot forego that. It has to be used with caution. It has to be used with some sort of a understanding of what we are doing. Sorry? Then you can ask it again, is this information right? So I think with this, yeah.
A lot for legal cases. Every other day, courts are punishing people for using case law, which is based on AI, which is completely false.
Absolutely.
So I think for legal matters, one has to be extra careful and cross-check whether.
Yeah.
Just yesterday, I think we've carried an article about the Bombay High Court fining someone 20,000 for using AI-based information. And this is not the first time. I think there are at least 4 or 5 in the past.
Unfortunately, today the situation is just such that judges are hallucinating. So the question of AI hallucinating is but natural, because it is also coming from our own environment. The judges are themselves hallucinating, giving judgments which are totally at cross purposes and stuff like that. So it's a very tough call. And that's what I'm saying again, that the human element, we have to be very careful, and we have to cross-check with our known sources, with our knowledge also. It is not that you accept everything as a gospel truth. Thank you very much. I hope you enjoyed. Anyone wants to ask any questions? I am. Yes, please.
Then it is available to everyone. Then if you try to understand what is the income of Mr. Mitesh Arya, then will that
no, it is not available to everyone.
Okay.
There is a fair degree of confidentiality. There is a fair degree of confidentiality.
Okay. So whatever I share on the this AI tools, it will not be available publicly, right?
It is not available at all. Suppose I am meeting Mr. Devashish and I am shaking hands with him. I can tell AI, show that I am hugging him. It will do it. It takes my data, processes it, gives it back to us. It doesn't hold anything. How much data will it hold? Trillions of queries coming up every day. It will not happen that way. Yes, please.
On the basis of what you say, sir, we can become a bit more efficient with the use of AI. Taking the other side, given that this is a Moneylife sponsored seminar, is there a use you can see whereby the legal side, the ombudsman, the so-called the GROs, the RBIs, and all those people can utilize the same manner, but of course with the human assessment later on,
right.
So that the judiciary and the time it takes for any cases to come up to the court and get judgment runs into years. Sometimes even the smaller things can take to 3, 4, 5, 6 months, even a year. So what are your views on that subject, sir?
No, so as I said, like they can use AI to gather the information and then take a call. Ultimately, this is more for information gathering rather than taking a ethical or a judicial call. A judicial call will always remain individualistic. It is meant for speeding up. I showed you some websites where Supreme Court collects all the data from so many courts across the country as well as from its own court, and then it evaluates. But then the data is also and each case has a different variation. So that sort of a thing will always be there.
So AI is evolving so fast. There is so much information overload. Today we learn something, and in the next 2-3 months there's another better LLM within a week. So how we rapidly, especially senior citizens, we need to rapidly be in touch.
Keep reading and keep
attending. Yes, we have to, because it's evolving so fast. There's so much information overload. We just
can't keep choice.
Yeah, there is no choice in this.
Unless you keep abreast.
Hi sir, thanks
Thanks
for this wonderful presentation. So I have one question. Does the advancement of AI in any way make our financial accounts like our demat accounts or bank accounts vulnerable to any hacking?
You don't need hacking now. Government is prescribing that your accounts can be visible by themselves. So you don't need anyone to hack you. Officially they will take your data.
No, I'm talking about this AI.
From outside, no. Yeah. See, all your accounts are any case online and vulnerable, I would say. The chances of a thief getting into your computer and getting it and somebody getting it online, they are almost equal, I would say. Government themselves are hacking. So there is nothing 100% secure. That is my... Sorry. Just last question, please.
Incorrect post or
some posts like good morning, all those cannot be filtered. What prompt I should be using?
No, sorry, I can't, I didn't get the question. What was the question? Did you hear it? Can somebody?
Okay, I'll repeat that. WhatsApp, when I start using it, I find there are so many posts coming from different groups, and I want to filter them. So, filter for one is that common messages like good morning, happy day, like those things, which I don't want to see them. Number two, those which are fake or false, I want to filter.
WhatsApp is very rigid. It does not allow you to filter that. It wants people to keep on sending. One day they will charge 1 paisa per message and all your messages will be stopped. WhatsApp is very rigid. It does not allow interaction, too much interaction. Yes, last question, please, quick.
Sir, which is the best AI tools to find out particular case law in legal,
I showed you some case law websites. You can use those, or you can even use your generic, your Copilot, etc. also will give you enough number.
Because ChatGPT gives wrong,
don't use it.
References.
Because you are the only judge. If I am doing it, I may not realize. If you know better than them, use another tool. There are so many tools available. Or ask for links, yeah. Then at least you have the references. Thank you very much.
As we come to today's close of the session, I would like to briefly thank everyone who made this possible. Our sincere thanks to Mr. Yazdi Tantra for an extremely insightful and practical session. Your clear explanations and live demonstrations have helped demystify AI and also shown us how to confidently and responsibly use it in everyday life. We also thank our event partners, Silver Innings Foundation and International Legal Alliance, for their valuable support. Finally, a big thank you to all of you who have been here for your participation and also your engagement. On behalf of Moneylife